Yeah, I'm just finishing off my video. I thought we were only heading out in like an hour and a half. You just showered? Gosh, it looks like your towel's about to fall off. I'll be right back. Gosh, sorry about that. So, as I was saying, compound exercises. So today we're talking about compound exercises, the one that give you the most bang for your buck. But before I jump in, I want to show you a simple Krav Maga drill that trains discipline and control. And trust me, this little trick could save you in a real-life situation. So welcome back to Gym Fit 50. I'm Donovan, and if you've been following along, you know I'm passionate about not only staying strong as we age, but also about living smarter and balancing risk with reward. So unfortunately, Dr. D couldn't make it today, and probably because I don't give him much airtime anyway. But don't worry, I'll convince him to come back next week. In the meantime, let's talk about how I train, what compound exercises I focus on, and why I believe these movements keep us strong, functional, and moving well into our 50s and beyond. First, before we even talk about gym moves, I want to share a little Krav Maga practice drill that I use. I take a simple resistance band and put it around my elbows, and this keeps my movement small and controlled. See, when most people fight, their arms fly wide and their movements are too big, and that leaves openings. In Krav Maga, we keep our hands up in a protective but non-threatening way. Small, efficient movements, and that's the key. In my last video, Hunter Allen shared some of the great tips about situational awareness. Have you been practicing that? Are you noticing who's around you, who's behind you? A simple step. Put down this device when you're out and about. It's one of the best ways to become more aware. I live by this idea, risk to reward ratio. If the risk is too high, the reward isn't worth it. I call this calculated risk. I've always been a risk taker. My wife and I left South Africa over 20 years ago with no job lined up, and we moved to America. Later, we moved to Bend, Oregon, sight unseen. Huge risks, but were they calculated? In fitness, and especially over 50, we can't afford careless risks. Injury costs us time, progress, and sometimes our long-term mobility. So every exercise I do is weighed against that philosophy. Is the reward worth the risk? One thing I believe is really important is switching up your routine. I change mine every 3 to 4 months, sometimes even sooner. Our bodies adapt quickly. Changing angles, tempo, or exercise variations wakes up that muscle. For example, alternating single leg calf raises or changing foot positions on squats. Little changes to keep your body guessing and growing. For me, squats are about mobility and balance. I don't go crazy with 400 pounds anymore. My knees, they gave me the middle finger on that. Now they'll stay around at like 275 pounds or less. I go deep and I play with stance width. A narrow stance works your outer quads, a wide stance your inner quads. Try a wide stance with moderate weight and see how your legs feel the next day. So lunges or sissy squats, these are great for isolating quads and glutes, but they do take more time. That's why I don't do them that often. But if you want to target each leg individually, they're really an excellent choice. So bench press, it locks me in, it hurts my shoulders, and it can be unsafe if I'm lifting heavy and I'm alone. Dumbbell press is more natural, flexible, and safer. Plus, I can adjust the angles. So dips, they're good for variety, but watch your shoulders because you're lifting your whole body weight, so be careful, especially if you're just starting out. So shoulder press or overhead dumbbell press, I skip the barbell press for the same reason as the bench. It's too rigid and it hurts my shoulders. Dumbbells let me move in a way that feels right and natural. Adjust your bench properly so you're not just working your chest again. So beware the angles. So bent over rowing is a good alternative to pull-ups. I've got to be careful because of my past bicep injury, and pull-ups can put stress on one's shoulders as well. But with rows, they focus on form. And make sure that you're doing it right because you want to protect your lower back, especially if you go heavy. So deadlifts, the reason I don't do them anymore is because the risk of injury, the technical mistakes and the stress on your spinal cord. So years ago, I tore my right bicep, not in the gym, but deadlifts can really aggravate injuries like that. So just be aware of that. If you do love them though, and you want to do them for fitness and not ego, and have a good physio, chiropractor, or maybe some good painkillers, then go for it. Because even a strongman once said that he wouldn't recommend doing deadlifts unless you are in competition. So that's my core routine: squats, lunges, presses, rows, and some dips. And every workout I throw in calf raises and abdominal work as well. Consistency with these two has kept me feeling strong and balanced. If you got value from this, hit the like button and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are your favorite compound exercises? And what risks do you think are worth the reward?